Welcome to Fuck Your Feelings, the greatest podcast that ever exists, man. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, man. We got a phenomenal episode, man. We got Chris Gardner.
What up, man? What's happening?
Okay, we got Dannon Green.
Yeah, I know who it is.
And we got Jay Washington.
Man, they drug me out here. I'm here.
Where you came from?
Hey, man, I'm just in the valley. I'm 20 minutes away from here, dog. I'm just messing. You know what I'm saying? We all out here in the LA, in the California area, in the sunshine, and now cold that people complain about, but that's a whole nother story.
Hey, man, it's been cold right here in LA, man.
Yeah, it's been cold.
Hey, so we were just talking about how, and I think this is something worth mentioning because I've heard other comedians say this too, man. Don't tell comedy.
Yeah, bro.
That's the new late night.
Those are the late night
sets now.
Yep.
What you mean?
So don't tell comedy is some shit on YouTube. I ain't gonna say some shit.
So you got to go first to where it started. It's comedy shows,
Okay.
where they'll book comics and they book the comics, right?
Okay.
But they literally don't tell the lineup. Nobody knows the lineup. They built their reputation so strong because they do these random venues. They do backyards, yoga studios, CrossFit studios, so many different random places. And so people buy the tickets and off the strength of the brand.
So you just going off of like possibility of a good show,
but the majority,
show.
but 99.9%, literally, and I'm not even saying that just as somebody that's done them.
Right.
99.9% of these shows are amazing, and so now they got to the point they were like, "Yo, everybody else that has this collective comedy thing that's been running so long have taped their stuff. You know, you had Dry Bar was doing the thing, so people do clean comedy, et cetera, et cetera. So Don't Tell started taping them.
Fuck Dry Bar.
I mean, that's the best way to say it.
I've never done it. But I
That's the best way to.
I never even heard of a Dry Bar.
just thought it was appropriate since they do clean comedy. Now I say fuck them. All right.
It's a joint out in Utah.
Okay.
So it's in Provo, Utah.
It's so white people like, well, he'll never be on.
Now he'll never do dry.
My bad. My bad. What you were saying? No,
no, all good. So they decided to start recording the sets, and then like we were talking about before you walked in, Danny. We were talking about how social media is a thing we all got to do now as comics, right?
Right.
So not only did they just upload the sets to YouTube, they started cutting the clips.
Okay.
The clips been going viral every time. Damn near everybody's clips hit about 1 million to 1 million views.
Okay.
Some go even further, but 1 million, like 500K to 1 million is the minimum.
Wow.
The thing is, the reason we say it's the new late night, people have garnered major opportunities and stardom, for if you will, off these clips. Now, some people will be listening and watching going, how's that late night? A late night set ain't shit from 5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah,
that's true.
Late night shit is only YouTube clips now.
It's only YouTube clips anyway.
Because no one's actually watching late night when it's on.
You know what, man? That shit backfired. See, in a way, it's good. I'm happy it's happening. I mean, it's tough for older comics like myself who've been in the game and we were given this traditional path to take. Yeah. That's what people fail to realize. It's not that we can't adjust to the situation. It's just that when because I'm older than you guys, when you came in the game, when I came in the game, ain't that a bitch?
I mean, you said that like you needed the preparation.
Well, I didn't want Justin to think he was doing all of that shit. Justin had been working over the last couple of years. I didn't want this nigga think he was doing all of that.
Nigga, collectively, the three of us, he was like, I'm older than y'all. We was like, duh.
Yeah, you niggas jumped on that quick, didn't y'all? Like, hold up. Let me make sure this nigga know we ain't nowhere near this nigga. I ain't that old, motherfucker.
That's right. No, you not. You look good.
Thank you. But the traditional path, that we've been taught when we came in the game, 91, 92, 93, 95, 2000, before social media, it was like, yo, work, try to get in at one of these clubs, then once you get in a club, hope that one of the bookers from one of these TV shows will come and get you. And so that's how they manipulated and monopolized the business. So I in a small way, I'm happy it's happening like this because now it's like, y'all screwed us. Now we don't need it. Yeah, we really don't need it.
You don't
like
need
even like my goal for longest was like, man, I want to be on the comedy. I want to be in the comedy store, man. I mean, and I still do, you know what I mean? But not like I have to. Like I've been able to eat and have a career without being in the comedy store.
Yeah.
So many people always felt that was the move. And back in the day, man, especially in the 80s and the 90s, a couple people committed suicide just tripping off of, how they were treated at the store, something like that, jumping off the building.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it sounds crazy, but you gotta understand, man.
I just want to tell Joe.
Hey, but when motherfucker, but what it is, when a motherfucker gives up his life to move out here to LA, And then I got a motherfucker like you coming up, you know, you're not ready yet. You know, like, nigga, hold on. You know, and matter of fact, you may never be ready. You don't want to hear that type of shit. And some people can't take it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I mean, I could take the shit. I just come back and, you know, piss on your car or some shit like that. You know, I know where you come
Nigga,
from.
can you really take it if you say you gonna piss on a nigga car?
Well, it's better than killing myself. You know what I'm saying?
You know, that's something I miss, man. That you, cause I
Pissing
know
on niggas' cars? That's what you miss?
I know it's a few of us, man. But me being from here, I never had to do that whole. Oh, go to LA to follow my dream. I'm here already. You know what I'm saying?
But see, that's the difference. See, here you.
So I missed that.
Well,
that aspect of it.
Yeah, you missed that. But it's not that you missed it. It's just that you didn't have to. You wasn't even thinking about it.
Yeah.
See, when we come out here, your people like, well, you know, I got 2 degrees. I got a master's degree. I gave up my educational background. I gave up a business I started in Ohio to come up here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
What
then
was the business?
Computer animation.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, I got my master's from Ohio State. You know, and you know, when you come out here, and back when we came out here, at least it was different because this is a great point. It was confined.
Right.
So you knew where you was going. You knew it was either the Comedy Act, you know, in terms of the black clubs, J. Anthony Brown spot around the corner, Comedy Store, the Improv.
J-Spot?
You know what I mean? So no, not the J Spot. It was his spot. It was actually called Mavericks Flat.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
So what happens is when it's confined, you know where to go, and then you can listen to what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's not gonna be no specific. Here now, it's broad. It's broad. Somebody could pop out of them woodwork. You're like, damn, where does this come from? With 15 million. You know,
but like for me, I'm from Chicago.
Right.
And so we had this, first of all, you had to be proven funny when I came up to even get on these stages in some places.
Right.
Because I came up under the Deions, the D-Rays, the Lil Rails, the Damon Williams, the Beast. You know what I'm saying? I came up under them where it was like the ball heads, Marlon Mitchells, et cetera, where they were like, yo, you need to be funny because if you're not, we're going to clown you until you get funny. And then so you just started building that muscle first and foremost. And I remember hearing from cats who had come out here, who had gone to New York, some who went back, were like, don't make that move until you ready or got something to offer. Because that was a big thing being told. Whereas a lot of cats, you know, yes, the traditional way of you grow because you'll hear somebody in the audience say like, yo, you got that one joke. I want to build a whole show around that. Remember, that's what happened with Roseanne, Titus, so many different people.
Well, you had a point of view. See, you don't have to have a point of view no more.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just Justin Hines got 15 million. All right, we're gonna give you a show.
But that's not a bad thing though, because that's the evolution of the business.
But it never lasts.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna get to. So a lot of these social media people will get these opportunities, but their shows don't last because when it comes to actual network TV and streaming services, you have to actually have like a certain level of talent and skill set.
Got to.
You have to. Yeah, so you can have all these followers. I've seen it. They got all these followers. But if you don't know how to write a script, if you don't know how to develop a character, if you don't know how to do story arc, the story structure, all that shit, you will be confined to online.
Yeah. You'll make your
you can make
your
money.
You're gonna make a little paper.
You're gonna make a lot of money.
But how long is it gonna last? I mean, and now who am I to count your paper?
But the thing is too, like, and I agree with you. I agree with both of y'all. But the thing is, let's look at the business we in now. The business don't care.
Yeah.
The business don't care. Because I'm gonna use all of us as an example. I have something popping on social media and I'm running good for 1 or 2 years. I'm making bread, I burn out. But now right behind me, he go Dannon. Now he running good, maybe the same in the midst of my 1 or 2 years, but he burn out. Then it go to Chris and so on and so forth.
Right.
And that's what's happening. The business doesn't care because if unfortunately one falls off, there's 1 to 100 more right behind them.
But the problem is, Jay, is that's the problem. The business don't care. You should care.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. See what I'm saying? No, I'm not saying you don't.
No.
I'm saying
he said, "Fuck you, Jay."
See, Jay, like, cause that's like it was Jason back. This nigga Dan gonna burn out about a month or two. I'll be
as soon as it come, boy.
But no, what it is that the business is nothing but a revolving door. Okay, so it's always the next hottest nigga, the next hottest wife, or whatever the situation may be. So it's something that I learned from Fishburne, and I always share it with older comics. Lawrence Fishburne.
Okay, and you gonna throw out the last name?
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's how cool he was. The nigga.
Well, see, the thing is, if I put the last name out, it's like I'm dropping names and shit. So I was just trying to
get harder with the last name.
Yeah, like when I was talking to Larry. You know,
me and me was drinking some Michelob's.
You know, me and Cowboy Curtis was out.
Cowboy Curtis.
So he told me something years ago, bro, and it's kind of on your point. We were sitting in a club in Century City, so we were talking about people. I won't say no names, but people that have had not comedy shows, but television shows, and then 4 or 5 years, you get your 4 or 5 years in, then you don't hear nothing from him no more. And I never forget it, man. And I tell you, it was one of the heaviest blows I ever had. He was like, "Yo, listen here, man. I'm gonna tell you this." He said, "You don't want to be hot for 5 years. You want to be warm for 25." I never forgot it. I'm telling you, man.
Larry Fishburne.
Be warm for 25.
And that's why my style or how I've come across, if you notice, man, I'm not one of these dudes I ain't got to jump in all the pictures. I ain't got to try to be, I don't be hating on nobody because I know if you cruise, see the car that cruises always keeps gas longer.
Hey man, the tortoise in the hair.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think about that, man, even with my own career, because I remember I used to want that Kevin Hart life. Like, when I started, and this was before Kevin Hart became Kevin Hart. Right. That was just the life. I knew I wanted to be the top dog. But then I was like, nah, maybe not. You know what I'm saying? And then I started seeing Chappelle. And I was like, I like what but Chappelle is still a top dog.
Yeah.
But what I say by that is he's not tied to corporate entities. He can still say, dude, go where he want. If he want to do a stand-up show at an arena tonight, he could do that shit. He could do. He's literally have done pop-up shows at an arena.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm gonna be performing at Phillips tonight. Y'all can buy your tickets. So I like that. Also,
he's not dependent upon the system.
He's not dependent upon the system.
But you know why though?
I'm listening. Tell me why.
He got talent.
Well, he got talent.
See, I mean, that's what you said.
Superstar talent.
Yeah, but what you said earlier was important.
Yeah.
I could, you could say it. Yo, I'm gonna have a show here, and you'll get 20 people that know you, whatever. That
if you're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky. But the question is, it's the talent, bro. And this is why when Fishburne, what he told me, and then I kind of tried to incorporate it. And when I talked to these young comics, because I was looking at them, and the motherfuckers, yeah, you're supposed to be eager, man, but you're supposed to be smart. So, it's like you think about everybody that does these YouTube videos, and I think they cool. But my whole thing is I ain't got the energy every day, every week to want to keep doing it. Just, you got to sustain
Well,
that.
I was going to actually ask you. That was actually one of my questions for you. Like, as an older comedian,
right?
Like, how do you feel about posting content?
You got more of that, or you want me to answer it?
No, go for it. And my other question was, no.
Why you can't trust these young motherfuckers? Shut that nigga down real quick. And thank you, Dannon.
But how you feel about that?
Now I'm getting better, but when I post, it's two things I do. I post and actually I learned it from D-Lay. I was on the road with D-Lay and D-Lay and Dugard and I we was in Japan in Korea for 20 days. Nice. So D-Lay's, I got to give him a shot. He's a solid dude.
Yes,
and he was like, yo, Dan, because I said, man, I don't understand this social media, man. He said, yo, I'm gonna show you, tell you what you got to do, how you got to do it, what you got to post. So I learned how to start using other people's footage, you know what I mean? Yep. Their footage and stuff to kind of add to it and do like I saw one that you just did, which was real cool, and kind of talk behind it, whatever. Yep. I can do stuff like that. I can make a skit because I know I can write, but I don't want to go through all of that.
Yeah.
And the whole thing about it is I don't ever how you going to go about it? Do it. All I worry about now is when I post now, I only really post. I don't post for my friends. I really don't. I don't post for guys that I know, like you guys. I post so the industry goes, oh, Dannon Green's still out there. So when you see my post, it's usually me. I had a show here or whatever. I never, and like I tell people, I talk a lot, but I don't talk a lot.
Let me give you some pushback. You know I mean? I'm gonna give you some pushback on that.
Okay, bro.
Devil's advocate. They see that you out here.
Yeah.
But all the industry care about is numbers.
Exactly. But those numbers, after a while, again, my mentality is I know I got to flow. But see, I'm doing what you're saying. I'm writing. I can write a screen. I got screenplays out there. I've done a documentary. So I'm doing it. So that's what I'm saying when I post. It's about what I'm doing. But I'll never get the full info in terms of it so that people can go kind of kill it. It's like showing what the commercial is about before the commercial comes on. So it's an edgy thing. But just think about it, man. There's so many millions of people in the world. And you get 15 million, somebody look at it, you go viral, you start making a little bit of paper. But when it comes down to what you really want to do, so what's your focus? See, my focus is I want to make films.
Yeah, well, you know what you want to do.
But a lot of people don't. They just and they see, oh, Jay did a nice. You did. Oh, Jay Justin did something. My man did something.
Yeah.
You know, Oaks. You know what? Let me do what they did.
That's
so
a
it
fact.
becomes the
Yeah.
same shit.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
And when you do that, now you got to hope you're in that numbers.
But
game.
I think to add on to what you're saying, I think the mentality of a lot of comedians nowadays, especially those who, if you've been in this game at least 10 years, right? You've seen 8 to 10 years. You've seen this transition. You've seen things that have changed, things that have happened. So you realize as a stand-up comedian, you can't just be a stand-up comedian.
You can't. And see, I understand. Yeah. And that's exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You know, you got to have other things. I was always told when I moved out here, I'll never forget, shout out Rob Hines. Rob always goes viral with the Jones barbecue and foot massage video.
Okay.
Rob is one of my best friends. And when I was about to move out here, Rob always told me, he said, when you start having those meetings, not if, when. He said, when you start having the meetings, always have a what else. And at first I was like, what do you mean? He was like, okay, you do stand-up. I was like, yeah. He was like, what else? I was like, well, I'm an actor. What else? I said, well, I was on radio. What else? And it was immediately then I was like, I got it.
Right.
So it's always have enough what else's until the point where somebody can be like, okay, I see you're multifaceted. I see you're multi-hyphenated. And then you're multi-hyphenated and proven. Because a lot of people say they write and they do all this other different. I direct, I write, blah, blah, blah. So what do you have to show for it?
But and again, not only that, but like just said earlier, you still got to find a way to maintain.
Yeah.
See, it's like us, you young, I box, you box a young boy and she got energy, but a couple of years from now, that energy, everything gets slower and slower. Now, what's going to make you be able to still be the champ? Okay, the champ's gonna be, I'm smarter than this dude now.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I know how to go ahead and move on the cat. A lot of these guys, last night at the Humor Mill,
shout out to Frank Holden.
Yeah, Frank. Shout out to Frank.
Mill
Yeah.
Awards.
But Chris Spencer said something on stage. He said, at one time we had beef with what y'all was doing. He said, but we figured that we're gonna have to start doing
Chris Spencer hosted. He was saying that the comedians had beef with the online comedians.
Right.
Oh,
And
yeah.
right. But at the end, he still said, but you still gotta have to have talent.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have talent.
Gotta have something to back it up.
You gotta have it, because even though we got so many streaming services, people still, when a producer or a writer or whatever is going to invest money into you just because you got 15 million followers, if you're a terrible actor, they're going to see that.
Bro,
I keep saying 15 million. I want to let everybody know I have personally 100,000, and they're declining by the day. At least on Instagram. Facebook, I'm growing. But I just want to let everybody know that in case anybody think I got 15 million.
How did 15 million become the number? How'd you land up?
Well, because I'm not trying to use it as a number. What I'm trying to say is, no matter how much. Yeah, I did say
Do y'all remember when YouTube?
That really struck a nerve.
Maybe that was my dream. And shit.
15 million. I'm like, who is this nigga with 15 million followers?
Let's go 8 million now, y'all.
But do y'all remember them niggas from YouTube Red when YouTube gave all they star shows?
Yeah.
Them niggas had 15 million followers, subscribers. They had 8 million subscribers, and they was like, oh, we can make our own network with our own YouTube stars. And this goes back to talent, because all them shows,
They were bad.
They were bad.
But who benefited?
Of course, the YouTube stars for the moment.
No. YouTube benefited, because no matter how long they stayed, they made enough money off these cats to move to the next cat.
However, we don't know how much money they made off of them cats, meaning they didn't make enough money that they wanted
That's
to,
why
because
they get,
YouTube Red doesn't exist anymore.
Well, I
forgot about YouTube Red.
But that's why I brought it up. It was here one moment and gone.
But
that
again,
shit, man.
that's true too. But again, who goes first? The talent goes first. The executive producers, those people are going to be like, okay, you know what? I can find someone else that can to fill that spot.
That's true too.
So I try to tell anybody in the game, man, you got to see, most people, man, they don't strategize, man. They just
go.
They just going out there and they can tell some jokes, and even being funny don't mean shit. It's a thousand. It's funny, motherfuckers. It's a thousand funny people. There's a thousands of me.
Yep.
There's a thousand. You got what's going to make you different.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
But that's why I like to tell my jokes with my dick out.
Yeah.
No, hear me out. And when I feel like,
and that's why he gets a lot of laughs. That's why they be killing.
That's why I'm not playing. Next
Let me
show I
separate
see
myself.
next show I see a nigga book me on with Justin Hires. I'm sending the contract in advance. Hey, I need the pause say right here.
I need gloves for the mic.
Hey, so Chris did something that needs to be talked about. He put out his own special. You right? You self-produced it, I'm guessing.
Yep.
With your money.
Yeah.
And you found it. So talk about that. And do you feel like it's been helping you out, or how you feel about it, the process?
Yes and no, man. My special is called Chris Gardner shit, by the way. It's very good. Man, I got to the point, man. What was that? It was last year. It was 2022, man. I just wanted to put some shit out, man. I have been doing it for 10 years. I just wanted to put something out. But I was honest with myself. I was like, man, I ain't about to do a whole hour, man. I'm gonna do instead of doing like, so I'm like, I can stretch an hour and it'd be cool. But I can do a hard ass 35, 45. So I did a hard ass 35, man. And it was well received, man. I put it on YouTube. Everybody's loving. I'm, in talks with some mediums to put it on right now. Okay. But it's one of those things I'm kind of like, what now?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's good that you even did it in the first place, because that's something that I'm debating right now. Like, if I'm gonna do a special, am I gonna shoot it independently? Am I gonna try to get a license? Am I gonna put it out on YouTube? These are all the things that I'm trying to decide right now.
Talking to Connie Dynamics and stuff like that, looking at some contracts, and I'm trying to figure out.
I'm gonna say this real quick. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you ain't.
Louis showed the way. As much as people want to hate, remember when Louis first started dropping his albums on his website? Was like, just pay me $5. $5. Louis made $1 million in 20 minutes.
Louis had fans,
but what I'm saying is he introduced the path.
Right.
He introduced the path that many comedians now began to follow.
Who's Louis?
Louis C.K.
Oh yeah, but.
No. But I'm saying introduce that path of self-producing, self-releasing.
I think Andrew Schultz, if anybody,
Andrew
really.
Schultz did.
Andrew Schultz and Trevor Noah.
Well, now they're at. That's what I said. Now he just did when Andrew Schultz just recent. But see, this is recent. Louis did it back.
We did it first.
This what I mean by my bad. This what I meant by that. Meaning Louis C.K. charged people. What I'm saying is Andrew Schultz and Trevor Noah put out content for free online to build an audience.
Yeah.
So they were ahead of the game when it just came to just put out your stand-up clips for free.
Yeah.
And then build, get in that algorithm and build an audience. And now every comedian, including my bitch ass too, is starting to post crowd work and those type of clips to start to build a fan base and audience.
I tell you though, man, I really didn't have like I still ain't got a big YouTube following. But compared to what I had, man, just putting out that special by itself, damn near posting nothing else and putting some shorts out, like, got me some attention.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, man. Just make sure you post it on YouTube Shorts also.
Yeah, that helped.
The shorts out here be blowing up.
Every video I post gets thousands of views on YouTube Shorts, man.
Yep.
I haven't posted yet,
bro. I almost have 9,000 subscribers on YouTube. I post a regular video where I do movie reviews, TV reviews, and everything like that. I be stretching to get. I used to get 1,000, 2,000 easy. It's stretching to get like 900, 300, 400, sometimes 9. I put a short up. In less than 10 minutes. I got over 1,500 views.
Yeah.
Nigga, you take a nap and you literally wake up.
So I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told Shang, man. Especially you, because you do so much crowd work and you kill it. You're a beast with all that shit, bro. Just take your cell phone when you hosting at the and just record that shit, bro. Cut that up and just throw that shit up on YouTube Shorts for sure. If you don't post it nowhere else, post that shit on YouTube and Facebook. You'll kill on Facebook.
I'll do that. Because, and I'll take that advice. I appreciate it. I don't post like my thing is, well, because I've been writing, and then I write screenplays. So my thing right now, I got a film project that I have a director and a producer attached, and I mean they feel really strong about it, like about the movie. And the director was a guy who last year had a film that was up to be nominated for an Oscar.
Oh, nice.
So so they feel really good about the script. So my whole thing is, I believe in, and I'm going to do that in terms of the shorts, but I believe in loading your guns more than anything, because when you load them and you're already kind of doing stuff, like in your case, just you out of all of us, you've got, I won't say the easier path, but you got a path that has kind of been made because you had the television. You see what I'm saying? And that's
I have more options, I think.
Well, I don't want so much options, but people like, yeah, he was on this show, he was on that show.
Right.
So I've done things like films, and like I was just on the Your Honor with Bryan Cranston.
Oh, dope.
I just did an episode of that, right?
Congrats, man.
So yeah, people seen that. So I know in terms of the short type
But
of
you
thing,
know, wait a minute. When I say
go ahead.
options, what I meant by that is like I could get certain meetings that other people may not be able to.
Right.
That's right.
So it's just I think it's really kind of a game plan, and again, being an older comic and not coming in under the social media like you guys did, where most of the guys start off with babies, being able to work on the iPad, know how to do the shit. You know,
We ain't that young, nigga.
Well, you know,
The internet came around when I was in middle school.
Damn, well, that ain't too long ago. but you know, it's just really about, I think I would say, Jay, too, as well, is it's about knowing your path.
That's
you know,
what
if you know your path, like if you know how your life goes and your career is going, you'd be like, okay, I know if I do this, I've always gotten this to happen. Like
Right.
when I was hot with commercials before the pandemic, you know,
Right.
I used to book, and I always knew, you know when I book them? October, November.
Weren't you the first Popeyes?
I was the dude.
Yeah.
So yeah,
What?
yeah. The story behind that is
Yeah, what is the story behind that?
so it was deep, man. It was funny. It was interesting. I had auditioned for a Popeyes chicken commercial, right? And it was I got a call back. They didn't go with me. They went with this other dude, this other brother. And his job, the commercial was pretty much like he goes into a Popeyes commercial. I mean, a restaurant. You guys are eating, and then he's like, "How much did you pay for that chicken?" You know what I mean? And it's, you know, and they'll go, "See, it's cheaper here." You know, you kind of talk about the prices of Popeye and stuff like that. I didn't get it. They ran that for maybe a month or two, couple months. So one day I'm driving up to 405. I'm in LA, and my agent calls me, and he goes, "Hey, what's going on, Dan?" I say, "Hey, what's going on?" He goes, "You want to shoot a commercial tomorrow?" Like that. And I'm like, "Yeah, which one?"
Sure.
He says, "You booked the Popeyes chicken commercial." I said, I haven't had an audition for a Popeyes chicken commercial. He said, "Well, you got one." I said, and I literally said, "Call him back and make sure they got the right guy."
Yeah, I feel you.
Because I'm like, I ain't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he hung up. I don't know if he called. He might have just hung up. Said, "Let me wait. Let this nigga."
Just
yeah,
slept
no,
one
no,
second,
yeah,
yep.
yeah. And then he called back and said, "Yeah, it's you." So what I found out was, I shoot the commercial. I didn't find this at first. I shot like 3 spots up in the valley. So I'm like, damn. So they were starting to run. So about 4 months later, this is crazy. I'm at the crib, January. "What you doing this weekend?" It's a Tuesday. He called me. He said, "Nothing. You want to shoot a commercial?" "Yeah." He said, "Okay. You going to New York?" "I'm going to New York." He goes,
Hold on, pause that real quick. Hold on. I gotta make sure we getting all of that.
Oh, because the cameras only do 30 at a time.
30 minutes.
Oh, sorry about that.
Go.
Yeah. So so I said, "What?" He says, "Yeah, you're gonna shoot this Popeyes chicken commercial, and they want you to come out to New York." So now I'm tripping, right?
Yeah.
Because Sunday Super Bowl weekend. So I said, "Yeah." He said, "Do you have any?" And then they'll ask you if you haven't done it before. They said, "You have any demands, like any requests?" So I was, and this is new for me because this is shit I ain't never. I'm like, "Can I fly first office?" And they're like, "We checked." So they hit me back and said, "Nah." They said they fly you business class. And it's 5 feet. I don't know, man.
It ain't that much different.
Yeah,
It's
but
a
it's
little
really
bit
no different. Business class, it's just as cool. You got your own
Cubicle.
cubicle, everything.
Okay.
So they fly me out. Oh, go ahead.
No, because I just be flying and I don't be knowing the difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the first time, I felt like a superstar. Like I was like, oh shoot. So they fly me out to New York on a Saturday morning because the shoot is on Sunday. They fly me out there, and it's a nice, it's January, so it's crisp, but it's cool. The sun's out.
Yeah.
Get there. Hey, take me up to the Standard Hotel. Hey, the producers don't want to talk to you.
Give you a per diem.
Give me my per diem. I was about to say that. Give me my per diem.
When you open the door, Weinstein was sitting.
Yeah.
With his leg on a chair like this. So yeah.
We understand you want this role, but there's some things you're gonna have to do for this.
Right.
You love that chicken.
Yeah, I love that chicken. Just can I close my eyes? No.
You got a biscuit on the chest.
So they got me at the Standard. Then they take me over to the shoot area for where the producers are at, and give me a per diem. hey, we need you to go get your hands done, you know, because we dealing with chicken. So I do that. And man, I shot 2 spots that Sunday. And they had the game on the monitor. So I talked to one of the executives. And I go to her, because they're located out of Atlanta. I said, look, you know what happened? Because I didn't.
Popeyes is located.
You got to remember, I didn't. You got to remember what happened.
Not Louisiana.
Yeah, you got to remember what happened.
Right.
I said in the beginning of the story, I didn't audition for the commercial. Right. I hadn't. What happened was, they had shot some spots with the sister, the black woman that eventually came in.
Yeah.
They said it came off too much anthropomorphish, you know, like
my
that.
Favorite line is the funniest thing Cat Williams ever said to me in his entire life was on one of his specials. He talked about the Popeyes lady. He said, "That nigga is a slave."
Yeah. So what happened was they shot some with her, and it came off to
Aunt
like
Jemima.
Yeah. So they had to get this campaign out. Okay. They were pushing Popeyes, because Popeyes really didn't have a lot of commercials, if you remember back then. So they got me off a tape that I did 5 months ago for that audition.
Wow. Oh shit!
So I never did audition. They just saw me off the tape and said we want him. And man, I had a good little 2-year run. I made some cash off of that, man. Yeah. And so when I was talking to him, and when I started seeing that, I was like, damn. I was like, man, I get the number, because I was thinking like, I know we're going to run it, but if they didn't like her, but they still like something about it, there's a possibility that she's going to come back. I'm like, because my name was Charles, if you remember. I was Charles in the commercial. Okay. I was the cook, Charles. Yeah. I was like, maybe they can make Charles be her, be her husband. I'm like, okay, it's a commercial, nigga, not a sitcom. You know what I mean?
Right. This mom thought a story arc for this shit.
I know, right?
But I did, man. It's commercials were, I was killing the game, like I said, to the pandemic. I shot one right before the pandemic, and then I haven't had one since. So.
Man, I feel you. I mean, I'm even like that with even with the acting right now. Like I'm very selective with what I'm auditioning for, but I ain't book shit that I have auditioned for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. The shit that I was like, I actually like this show, this project. Let me actually audition for. I ain't booked that shit.
Bro, I got a chance to audition. When shit started opening up with restrictions, when we were locked down, I was doing a lot of self-tapes to become the thing.
Yeah.
And so I remember still is heavily. And I remember I auditioned for Dog, Channing Tatum's movie. And they was like, yeah, you're going to audition for a prisoner. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about saying I'm a prisoner while being in lockdown doing this, but whatever. So I did it and I booked it.
Oh, congrats.
And I booked it. Thank you. And I shot that, bro. I shot that election day.
Yeah, because you in the movie.
I'm in the movie.
Yeah.
I shot it election day. And then I was like, oh, okay. So you can't, because at first my thought process was always, it's only going to be the major names that work. And they'll just fill shit in with background extras that needed. But to start doing, little small roles and co-stars and guest stars, I was like, oh, this is what's shaking now. Man, look, pandemic changed a lot for a lot of people the way we did.
But I'll tell anybody, and the problem that some people make, and I just almost blew it myself, is there's no such thing as a small role.
Yeah.
I just shot a presentation pilot with Naeem.
Oh, good.
I shot his joint. Yeah. And I almost didn't do it because I was like, hey, maybe I should wait, see if the show get picked up, and then I can audition for a bigger role. Because, I know Naeem, and he's like, hey, well, if you want to, you can do that. Yeah, cool. And when I hung up, I was like, uh-oh. Fuck you mean, Dannon?
Yeah.
A bird in the hand is worth more than two in the bush.
Yeah.
So I ain't had to audition. The brother was giving me
an offer.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I went ahead and did it. And when I get there to shoot, Leslie Smalls was directing me. So I was working with Leslie. I'm like, okay, first of all, that would have been the first mistake. Because you got to be in the room. You got to be in the room with these dudes. So Leslie was there. Then, and I did well with the role. They had here's crazy. They had a shoot move. I wasn't in it, but they were like, at night we're gonna be at the Comedy Store. So I said, you know what, man, I'm cool. I'm happy. I'm on cloud 9, and shot me a nice scene. Bam, let's go down there. I go down there. I walk in. Let's go. Yeah, Kev's in the back. I go, oh, so Kevin was shooting the scene.
Hard, everybody. In case
Kevin Hart. I'm sorry.
We did fish.
Oh yeah, we niggas is cold. You cold, man. I know a few people, all right. But here's the crazy thing about it. When I walked back there, Kevin goes, they was just talking about you. I heard you did good on that scene. Now, if my ego gets in the way, I'm worried about how big this part is.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
You never do it in the first
get
place.
yourself
And the scene is gonna be funny. It's a funny scene. I play his boss, but it's crazy that when you're not in these rooms, what can happen? Because that's all it's about. It's about somebody saying, "Yo, you want to do it?" And I know Naeem, so he was like, "Yo, I got this part."
Yeah.
So it's no small role. It's just about knocking it out.
Shit,
Yeah,
look, Chris Rock and what? Don't be a.
I'm gonna get you, sucker.
I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Yep.
One scene. Good Lord, that's a lot of money.
That might pull out that
Man.
whole knot of cash. One reel. What is one reel?
And I had the same thought. So even with I just did Half Baked 2, right?
Okay.
I wrote Half Baked 2 and got shot. You know, I would have liked to been the lead of the movie. I was not the dude that they got. Super great dude named Dexter, phenomenal, funny dude, right? But they was like, well, we'll give you one of these other roles. Is there any other role in the movie? So I was like, okay, let me just get one of these because I'm thinking about Chris Rock.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna get you, sucker. I'm thinking about Michael Blackson in Next Friday. So I'm like, if I could just take this small role and score comedically, then who knows? That might open up some opportunities.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do have to check your ego and humble yourself and just be like, man, let me just do this and see what it could possibly lead to.
And a lot of times your ego is good, but you forget. Like a lot of times in most comics, most people are pretty late. You know, no, well, not everybody. Let me take that shit back. There's some of them there that think they're bigger than who they are. But you know, for myself, and I don't want to speak for anyone else's life, but I've always been trying to be humble because I understand that in this game, there's too many ups and down levels. Yeah. And when you know that, that's why you got to come in and just like when I do sets, when I did Real Husbands of Hollywood with Kevin and them, bro, every time they was like, where's Mr. Green at in this trailer? You know, I'm going to be as professional, you know, do what I'm supposed to do, but make sure that I hit the part. You know what I'm saying? Right. But on that point you was talking about, people don't remember, Chris Tucker really had a one scene that really kind of blew him up.
House Party 3.
House Party 3. You remember it?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, when he was Johnny Booze.
When he came to the house.
Yep.
Same
Johnny
time,
Booze.
man. Same time.
Yeah.
And everybody
remember House
remembered
Party 3 like that.
You know what I'm saying?
You say you don't?
I don't remember House Party 3 like 1 and 2, but 3.
I love 3 is the second best one to
3
me.
brings in Bernie Mac, Ronaldo, Ray, Simply Marvel. Bro, it brings in legends. More legends in 3.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about the Friday movies. Like 1 and 3 are my favorite out of the Fridays, and 1 and 3 are my favorite out of the house parties.
Let me ask you a question. I'll ask anyone can answer it. Would you have done, if you were Chris, would you have done House Party 2? I mean, Fridays too?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
And I would have did it because I would have been like, this is the movie that really, really catapulted me, at least amongst the black community. So just out of loyalty for Ice Cube in the black community, I would have did it.
He would have had to pay me.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't have been no.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever
This ain't the low budget from the first one.
Yeah. I'd have been like, yo, I need Cube, I need 10.
But he didn't do it out of religious reasons, I believe. Like
he
didn't
want to
be
cussing stuff.
he didn't want to be cussing and stuff. He felt like he evolved as a person. So that I think that was kind of like the moral dilemma that he was kind of going. But however, I just seen Mike Epps on an interview. I think he did the deal. He was on something. No, it was either somebody that's on the Upshaws. I want to say it was Mike Epps. Anyways, somebody just said, it might not have been Mike Epps. Somebody did just say that Chris Tucker just said if they ask him to do it now, he'll do it.
Of course.
Right.
Because you realize the legacy is left, and you realize what it does in the zeitgeist of pop culture. You know what I'm saying? All the eyes on it. Like we bring up what it did for black people, right? But now this movie is bigger than just us.
Let me tell you something too, man. There's some real shit. Life will humble you.
Yeah.
Meaning, you where you was at 10 years ago might have been top dog, and now you realize that your phone ain't ringing, you're not getting those opportunities that you once were. And so it's and then you don't get no offer. Like, well, I
do an offer of an audition.
You see what I'm saying? So you start the law, you start like
opening up to more and more.
Are there any
Are they offering up a casting?
Is there any cattle calls? Are there any offers for guest star roles? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So life will stand it. I said all of that to say I'm glad that he's at a point.
Yeah, but
he's willing to do.
Is he gonna cuss now? In what capacity will he be willing to do?
Let me tell you something. When that life humbles you, like you talk to Jesus in advance. Look, I'm finna say some words, Lord.
Straight up.
Well, see, that's the problem. But again, that's what happens when you're young and you don't know how to navigate. Because I go to church. I was, I go to church, believe in God, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes I would look at it. But now there's certain roles I'm not going to do. I won't get into all of that. But one thing I do,
one?
So you won't be a hooker in pumps?
Yeah, you could probably figure out what I'm not going to do.
You won't be a hooker in pumps?
You definitely won't see me do nothing like that.
The one role
I know, hooker in pumps.
The one role I know,
I'll be that one though. Maybe not.
the one role I know I wouldn't play. I couldn't play a rapist. I couldn't do that one.
That was in my brain right now when y'all was asking that question.
Yeah,
What you wouldn't play?
Because remember how long it took Lawrence Fishburne. Dude did Ike Turner. And we knew it was a role. He played the hell out of it. But for years, people kept holding him to what he did to anime in a movie.
I still think he beat bitches.
But he was too good.
He was too good.
But on the line of that, that's what I did. I went to my pastor, Bishop Ulmer, and I said to him, I thought about it. He said, depending what the role is, remember it's a role.
I like how you threw the bishop in front of his name. You didn't just say the last name.
But sometimes you gotta let people know.
No, you let the bishop get his reference.
I might need a prayer. I won't. You ain't say my whole name.
You ain't give me my title, brother.
So, but I would have done the Fridays. I would have done those type of shows, man. Because those films. Because you gotta remember what hurts. This is what hurts entertainers. This is the main thing. They stopped doing what got them there.
Yes.
That's what they do. When the audience knows you, see, people know Denzel as an actor.
Right.
Not a character.
An actor.
So that's why Denzel can go from, Carbon Copy to, another movie another movie. And it's like, I believe everything.
It's that expression, you forgot what brought you to the dance.
You got to. Yeah. Bernie Mac never changed who it was. But when you try to change who you are, the audience is like, whoa, what got me to watch this Fridays was this character.
But I think you got to include one little thing for people who are going to bring it up. You can evolve. You absolutely can evolve.
Sean Penn.
Right. You can evolve, but go back to what brought you to the dance.
Yeah. Well, especially in comedy. I think that's what messes up a lot of comedy. People change. I laugh, man. I'd be sitting back, dog, because I'd be watching these dudes, and I see the dudes that are hot, and I see the dudes that think they're hot,
right?
And then I see these dudes that performing. And I'm like, okay, that crack gonna open up, and you're not gonna be here that much longer. And I never hate on no one's career.
Yeah,
that's one thing. One thing I never done, and I'll tell anybody this: don't hate on no one's career, and don't wish for nobody's career.
Yeah.
Because I would tell you don't know what God has in store for you at the end. I'm quite sure there's a lot of people that wish they was Michael Jackson at one time. So I never do that. And that's not trying to be spiritual. I'm just telling you, I come in the game. I never say I want to. And I'm tell you where I learned that from.
Lawrence Fishburne?
No. I was talking to John one night, right?
John Singleton.
This nigga.
John Singleton.
No. You know it. People here trying to be a comic and shit. So all of a sudden, no, John Witherspoon. We're in the back of.
So you should have just said spoon.
Spoon. Yeah.
I talked to Pops.
What? Bang bang. But I never forget it. I was at the Laugh Factory one night. This was in the 90s, and Martin Lawrence was on stage. I said his whole name, and I was like, I said, man, I wish I could, get what he was getting. He said, don't do that. He said. And Chris Tucker wound up being the same way. He said, Martin Lawrence was one of the few people that everything he did propelled him to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Like every movie, every show from what's happening now to, whatever, everything moved him to the next level. Same thing with Chris. It doesn't happen with everybody.
Yeah.
So if you start getting envy of a dude because I see Justin getting TV show after TV show, and I'm like, oh, I want to be like, no, because it may have just been your move. Because if you want that, then what's going to happen is I might get that role, and that might be the last shit I get.
Yeah.
So I always tell people, don't wish for nobody's career.
Hey, like they say, man, comparison is the thief of joy.
Yes, it is.
Ooh, that's heavy, man. You need to write that down.
No, that's actually written down on a lot of shit.
Hey. Jay hating ass over here. I'm trying to get Justin love. You like, oh nah, nigga. Everybody says that one already. You just late.
It kind of hard, nigga. He was like, yo. He was like, you should write that down, nigga.
I give it.
Yeah, nigga. Everybody says that.
It's a common cliche. It's a common
nigga,
cliche.
let me show you this on Amazon right now.
There's a lot of throw pillows and bed sheets with that on there.
There's a lot of white women have that in their home for brunch.
That's right.
But I mean, you know, it's just the game is crazy, man. But I actually am excited about it because it's like I always tell somebody. Anytime you go outside, just look at a car and look at the wheels. No matter how special they make those motherfuckers, they got to be round at the end. So whatever you do in this game, eventually it's all going to come back around. Because you can't reinvent the game. You can only enhance the game.
Yeah.
All this shit that you're doing is enhancing the game. Right. But guess what? If we had one mic and was in a studio, it would be the same game. You asking us questions, us talking shit.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what motherfuckers forget. That's why, man, I try to tell dudes, man, you know, just you know me a while. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know me, but you know me, I'm always laid back.
Yeah.
Now on stage, that's when I'm supposed to do it.
Right.
Because if I don't do it there, then all this shit here don't mean this nigga that he think he cool when he ain't. No, I'm laid back because I'm thinking about what I got to do up there. When I get up there, $500 suit, $1,000 suit, I'm gonna fall down, I'm do whatever it takes to get that laugh.
Yeah.
You got too many dudes trying to make the shit like it's a cool, like it's a challenge between me and you. It's not.
Right.
You know, and mad props to you too, because he spoke up for me when you spoke up for me at the chateau. So I appreciate that. You know what I mean? And that kind of pissed me off, you know, because I'm trying to get stage. Well, can you bring people? And nigga, I'm bringing me. Nigga, you know, this is my mother, you know, but then, you know, and I'm cool with Felix now. You know what I mean? But I was like, come on, man. You know, but now you see me coming, when you gonna come on do some time? But I appreciate that when you get that shout out.
Hey man, you know, that's what we ought to do, you know. So I try to make sure I do that on my social media, in person. Yeah. Just always make sure that I'm someone that's like there's two different thinking. There's nobody did it for me, so I'm not gonna do it for nobody else. And then there's other people that's like, I'm gonna do for you what nobody did for me. And that's where I'm at. You know, I'm gonna do for you what people didn't do for me.
Right.
You do always shout people out on social media, and seeing you do that make me want to do it more. I'm like, damn, I need to do more of that, man. Share people's stuff and shout people out and everything like that, man.
Because it doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt.
It can do but help you.
It don't do nothing but help you, man. Because really, it's like. I think I learned this it's like Aristotle or Socrates, one of them when I was in college, but his philosophy was do good for the sake of doing good. Right. So that's number one. You should just do good just off the strength of wanting to do good.
Right.
Now, if anything good comes from that, then fantastic. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? But usually if you share somebody's stuff, one, I just like doing that because I want people to get their shine on. I want to show other people like, yo, this is my talented homeboy or homegirl. Check out their shit. Check out their comedy. Check out because I know how hard it is to get people to watch your shit. I know how hard it is to get people to like your stuff. So if I could do anything to help get more eyes on your shit, then great. And I had another point that I was gonna make.
That's what happens when you get old, nigga.
Old nigga with young face.
You know, the thing is,
but that's a good point though.
And also, just as much as sharing their content and shit is like the knowledge we get.
Yeah.
Right. And by knowledge, I mean you can know the connection of Booker to something or how this person. Knowledge is to be shared, not stored. You know what I mean? Right. So when somebody like, hey, how did you get this? Like, if they're not coming just in an envious way, if somebody you know is really trying to come up and you can help them with a little bit of information, just like Justin did for you with Felix.
Right.
That's a small situation. You know what I'm saying? But there's other ones where it's like, here's another Booker. You need that information? Cool. I'll give it to you. It's no problem. It's not going to hurt me because you're not going to take my spot, which again, in comedy, bro, there's still going to be people who believe, yo, if I put you on, if I help you get on, you're going to take my spot.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you, that's people, I'm going to keep it 100. We think that. Black people think that. White boys don't think that.
Oh, not at all.
Because white boys know they just know they good.
Not only that, I feel like white people know they have more opportunities.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
We feel like we don't have it.
Yeah.
But we do.
Yeah. But we do. And this is my point I was going to make too. My last point on that was when you do good for someone else, typically, that's only gonna build y'all relationship.
Right.
Yeah. They're gonna be like, damn, this dude looked out for me. He ain't have to. Hey, ask him to share this. You know what I'm saying? But he did it. That's what's up. Like, he a solid dude. So y'all relationship is only gonna get stronger.
Cause that's how I felt about you. I was like, I don't like this little nigga. Then he spoke for me. I said, I changed my mindset.
Hey, look, Danny, you start holding this nigga might be all right.
Yeah.
You don't know.
So he beat me out of that show. I'm happy he did.
You know what that nigga did get it. He deserves
Yeah, he
it.
deserves it.
But you know it's so funny, man, because you joke about that, but there's a lot of comedians that feel that way or felt that way towards me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And part of the podcast is to show people like, yo, man, I want all of us to win. I want all of us to eat. I want you to get your show so you get canceled too. I want
you niggas to feel what I feel.
Yeah, I want you niggas to feel what I feel. And I want you to start a podcast. I want all y'all to go through what I'm going through.
Right.
And if I could do anything to help that happen, especially the cancellation, I'm joking. I'm joking.
But you know, people
I'm a help.
Yeah.
You know, I feel somewhat the same because I've always tried to be solid. And I think I've always been misunderstood out here. But, you know, when I came out here, there was a comedian named Rich Scheidner. I don't know if you remember who he is.
I know Rich, yeah.
Older guy, white guy. And I met him in Columbus, Ohio, when I was at the Funny Bone hanging out. When I first started doing comedy, doing like hanging out in the clubs and just, meeting the guys. And so we talked for like a whole week. He was there for the whole week. And I never forget. He said, man, how old are you? And I told myself, I'm 26. He said, you should move to LA. And I said, why? He said, because you seem mature enough not to get caught up in the lights. And he told me some stuff that I need to do when I get out here. How to, get a business card. You call people a couple times. After that, you leave it alone. Blah. So when I came out here, I already had a game plan.
Right.
So I think people looked at it with me like, oh, Dannon Green thinks he this or this or that. First of all, man, I got a master's degree. I've been dealing with presidents of colleges and department chairs and was up for 2 teaching positions. So my mentality was that old East Coast, and if anybody know, kind of the Agong socks and let me say scholarship type situation. When I come up here, I know it's a little looser, but I'm already got my path and my grind. You know what I mean? So people looked at me, I think, as a person that was like thinking I was better than anybody or something like that. And I was never had that. And then when people talk to me, and I got to share the story. It happened to me back in the day at Fat Tuesday, because I was one of the hosts. I was the host, the second dude behind God.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's Guy Tory show at Comedy Show back in the day. So
I remember me and Spanky Hayes. This was like in the 90s. We were doing a show together. Spanky didn't even have a car, so that tells you how long ago that was. Spanky's doing good now. And I said, I picked you up and take you to the show.
Now he's driving Uber.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
I
don't fucking know. I'm just talking shit.
Spank, he just talking trash. So anyway,
Spanky gonna kill me.
Yeah.
So I'm driving Uber now.
So just when we driving to the show and we talking it up like we are here. And out the blue, bro, he goes, man, you a cool dude. So I'm like, where the fuck that come from? You know what I mean? Like, bro, I mean, it's like it killed the whole conversation. He said, and he told me, man, the comics be killing you in the back of the comedy store. Talk about how you only here because you're friends with him and this and that, and not even know me. You see what I'm saying? And I know a lot of them comics that did it. And to this day, I speak, but I'll be in my mind like, nigga, I know what you felt about me.
Yeah.
But my whole thing is, so it's almost in the line of what you're saying. You don't have nothing to prove to anybody, but at the same time, you want people to know, look, man, nigga, I want you to lose.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I want you to win.
But if you feel a certain way about me, okay, it's cool.
Well, you be surprised how many people out here be mad that you have a hunger and a grind for this shit. People be mad at you because you're hungry to do this.
Right.
Like, how are you mad at me because I'm pushing forth this effort? I'm not trying to step on nan nigga's toes. I'm not trying to push nan nigga out the way. I'm just trying to do what I got to do to the best level of how I got to do it and go as hard as I need to go. How can you be mad at somebody?
How can you be mad at a dude that's trying to do the same thing you do?
Well, this is why people be mad, because now they got to look at themselves. And they mad, well, damn, I don't have that level of hunger. Why he trying so hard? Because they don't have the energy or whatever, fortitude, discipline, whatever, to put in that same amount of work. So that's why. And then they'll see somebody being successful on TV or whatever. Well, why he working and not me? And then it's like, well, did you put in the same level of work? Did you train? Did you put out the same amount of content?
Right.
You see? So that's how even I am. Like, if I'm seeing like some of these comedians that's starting to pop on social media or whatever the case is, I can't even be mad at them.
And they
I'm
leave
like,
a trail of the work they've been doing.
Exactly.
It'd be a trail.
Literally a trail.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, they put it. I was just talking to somebody yesterday. I was like, yo, all these comedians. So I was booking the TV stuff early. I was working first, when it come to my peers for the most part. And now my show's over. But I look up, they have 1 million, 2 million followers, or 500,000, 600,000 followers. They're able to go on the road and tour. Here I am, and I'm like, damn, I wish I could go out on the road and tour. But because I thought I was doing shit the right way, and we got on the network show, my pockets were great.
Right.
But I realized, like, oh, but I'm really a comedian at my heart of hearts. And I wish I was selling out Radio City Music Hall. I wish I was selling out these different venues.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, I can't be mad at them because they've been the 10 years I spent whatever on TV was the 10 years they spent on social media. And now they've got themselves in a position. And then them same niggas want to be on TV.
Yeah,
everybody
want
want what somebody else got.
Well, because they think of what it brings. You just said it. You like, yo, my pockets was good. My pockets was fat from that. So they just see that. They don't care about the rest of it. It's like, yo, if I'm getting bread this way, that's what I want. Which again, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Ain't a damn thing wrong with wanting to get your money, your pockets laced up.
Right.
But I've learned this from years and years and years, and I have to still sometimes have this reminder. My path is mine. Yours is yours.
That's real, man.
We'll never run the same path. We might do things that parallel one another, but we will never walk the same path.
You'll be in different spaces at different times.
Yep.
But again, on top of that, it doesn't matter because the main thing is the end line for yourself. Is your end line to pay a house mortgage or put a kid through college or something like that? That's your end line.
Yeah.
How you get your papers on how you get your papers.
Yeah.
It's that street code. I can't talk for another man money. You know what I'm saying? Now.
You saw dope in the 80s.
No, but my brother.
So dope in the 80s and
Why you had to go way back to the 80s,
I would say 92 to 95.
They say the 90s. Goddamn. Young motherfucker over here talking about. So 81, you was selling cocaine.
Nigga,
Put a whole other decade on you.
That is so dope into the Shamar Moore Soul Train era, nigga.
He was going down the aisle. You get a pack.
Yeah, everybody. But you can't talk for a dude's money.
Yeah.
And when you talk for your money, I'm talking about your hustle too. So, the thing out here, what I see is, like Chris said last night, you can put up a 30-second, minute and a half, 2 minute, not last night, but not Chris, but someone else said, a 2-minute video, and it could be funny as hell. Okay. So now I see you on social media and I say, oh, hey, baby, this dude's going to be at the Improv on Monday. Let's go see him. Now, how much the tickets? $55, but he's funny as fuck. And I'm paying him $55 for tickets. That's $110. We got drinks and food. I'm dropping 2 bills. And then you can only give me 4 or 5 minutes on stage.
Well, man, this is my issue. Well, it ain't my issue. It's going to be their issue. My concern for them, even though I don't really give a fuck. Everybody.
I like the way you just do that with it. Even though I don't give a fuck.
I'm seeing people starting to pop, some people, not everybody, popping off of crowd work. But when you see the actual material isn't that strong. And so it's like now when people come to your shows, you're going to have to do crowd work. Because
for 50 minutes.
Because your stand-up material is lukewarm.
Yeah. But you can't do that. Because I'm going to tell you, like I tell people, this is when the turn of my career in terms of the comedy parts turned. So I'm back in the 90s, bagging was the way to go. You know what I mean? Because a lot of dudes that came under Robin Harris, that's their style.
Yeah.
I won't name comments, but that was people's style.
Yeah.
But I knew.
Like Joe Torre did it a lot, right?
Joe did a lot. DL did a lot.
DL.
But I knew at the end of the day that the audience is going to want to have substance because there's going to be a day you come to a comedy show.
Yeah, Joe.
Nah.
We're just talking shit.
But there's going to be a day a guest is going to come and he ain't going to want nobody to talk about him. He got shit on his mind. He just wants you to make him laugh.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
This nigga came in with a lot on his heart.
Yeah. He ain't trying to come in here. He might have just got kicked out the crib and got one suit with a hole in it. You spot the hole. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A man named Will Smith. There's gonna be a day Wait, it's so
stupid.
Yeah, but but think about it, and it's true.
First
and
of all,
it has
I
happened.
just want to see a nigga come to a comedy club with his suit on. This bitch just kicked me out the house.
Hey, people have been shot at on stage.
Yeah, I get that, but a nigga that just got, that's the first one. Yo, this bitch kicked me out the house.
Yeah.
Where you going? To a comedy club.
I ain't gonna laugh. But it could happen.
Yeah, it could
But
happen.
my
It could
point
happen.
being is, eventually the audience is going to want to have substance.
Yeah.
So now, I don't want to be here and you talk about the crowd for 45 minutes, 50 minutes, and I'm 10 minutes of it. No, man, talk about
Wait a
something
minute.
else.
Not only did he get kicked out and put on a suit, he sat in the front row.
Yeah.
I was that dead center front row, mad as shit the whole night. This nigga got one drink he been sipping on halfway through the show.
Nigga ain't got no money. His credit card done.
This nigga's like, I need to enjoy this Crown Royal right now.
But you think about, but it's just so true. And I think now I will say this, I'll put everybody here on the spot too. I'm gonna do this. If you're a real comedian, you should be able to go to a club and really know who's really a good comic, who's not.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I could tell you, and I could hurt feelings if I wanted to. You know what I mean? Because I know motherfuckers.
I'm gonna say you said that like you was looking at the niggas in this room. I can feel it right now. One of you niggas.
Justin J. Chris, all that shit.
No, you know why I never do that, man? Because I'm a kind of dude like this. If I ever have beef with a dude, I go straight to him.
Yeah.
And I've had some issues with
Yeah.
some comics out here. You're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get me saying shit on social media where it's gonna go viral. Your boy's gonna get a hold of it. It may come off wrong. No, or it may come off the way that I wanted to say.
It's
No,
not necessary.
I'm gonna say it's. Bro, I'm a man on that part. If I got issue with you, I'm gonna go to you, and it'll never get out to the social media part or the news unless you say so. And once you open it up, then I'm gonna go ahead and go in.
I just seen some rappers do that, and I'm like, man, y'all gotta.
That's why they getting killed, nigga.
Yeah, I mean, y'all know what I'm talking about, right?
What? Talking about how much we got beef with niggas?
Nah, T.I. and Boosie.
Yeah, I
I've
know
been
that.
seeing that. I've been seeing that back and forth.
And T.I.'s my guy. I don't
Yeah.
know Boosie well, but T.I. I like T.I.
Yeah, I
Boosie's
like
a street nigga. Like
Yeah,
they both street niggas at the end of the
Yeah.
day.
yeah.
But it's like Boosie in these streets still.
Yeah.
Nigga.
But I know what
Yeah,
you're
Boosie
saying.
might
Though.
still do
But
something
I know
too.
it. Go ahead. I know what you.
And the point that I'm making is like, man, a lot of that shit, man, got to be done offline. You know,
Yeah.
even if one person say something online, you don't have to address it online. Especially if you got somebody's cell phone number.
Yep.
It's one thing if it's somebody you don't got their cell phone number, but even then you could DM somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that'd be my issue. So that's why I respect, and I'm the same way. If I got an issue with somebody, if I got a real deal issue, I'm not finna take it to Instagram.
Yeah, I'm gonna see you in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me tell you why that's bad, because what people fail to realize is even if me and you got beef and we go in there, what happens is now the world is seeing it, right? Especially at their level, the world is seeing it. So now Justin's out with his son, or somebody's out with your kid, or your woman.
Yeah.
And they go, yeah, you snitch ass. Hold up,
man.
dog.
Yeah.
Hold on. You know what I mean? You don't know the whole story, but you know what you've seen between the two dudes.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't bring stuff to the forefront like this. I'm like, man, I got beef, and I've had some beef with dudes, and I go to them and we talk it out. And okay, some of the beef has got it where we don't really communicate, but at least it ain't something that I have to worry about. If you hear something in the street, you ain't hearing from me.
Yeah.
Now, if you put it out, Dannon Green, yeah, he's bitch ass nigga. Now I'm gonna go ahead and in on it.
You gotta defend yourself.
Yeah. I'm gonna go in.
Yeah, nigga call you sit there. This is bitch ass nigga. Hey, we need to talk in these. We need to talk in the back room.
No, we're gonna talk here first. You know, because so the audience know I don't come off like, I mean, I got hands, but I don't believe that I can't beat everybody. So it's not even about that.
Right.
It's really about man to man. Like, dog, if you got an issue with me, man, just say what it is.
Yeah, I'm at an age now. I'm too old to be fighting. I'm not gonna scuffle either. Now I just gotta shoot you. And and so to avoid all of that, I try to,
You be surprised how niggas will see me, right? And they'll be like, yo, I know niggas, some people don't like me. When I say niggas, I'm using niggas
who don't
across the
like you?
spectrum.
Who don't like you, Jerry?
Some people, I've heard some just niggas don't like the way I try to just keep working. Number one. It's like what? But my thing is always like, yo, I'm the silence for work. You know what I'm saying? Working out for work, for career, the role, the all of the shit, the rest of it. But it's like, if you feel like you gotta say something to me, come to me. Because I'll respect you more, even if you got beef with me, if you come holler at me.
Right.
Because now if I got to hear around the way and we got to play this horrible game of telephone,
Right.
and then I got to get back to the person who sent the first message, and I'm like, so look, I'm hearing you got this issue. Let's lay this out right now. Because if it ain't nothing, it's nothing.
Right.
But if it's something, then they come back around. Now we got to talk again. But this talk gets a little bit more intense.
Yeah. Well, like
but like you said, then I got to shoot a nigga. Because I ain't trying to fight.
Sometimes got to shoot niggas. We need to have a boxing league. That's what I kept saying for comedians. And, you know.
Man, so Jay, 9 times out of 10, you ain't got to do much if you do have to fight somebody, man.
Man, look, I just I just snatched a nigga up at the Improv trying to run up on stage in a comic the other night.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, bro, I was at the Improv.
Somebody told me about that.
I was at the Improv. Yeah, bro, I was at the Improv in the lab. I was hanging out. I just chilling. I had came from doing something. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go to the lab, just chill, watching the show. There's a comic on stage, Mark Hayes. Mark's an Irish dude, goes in on the crowd normally, whatever. That's what he does. So this dude was drunk sleep on his wife's titties. And dude was kind of, his wife was kind of buzzed. And Mark going in on both of them because dude sleep.
Right.
So the wife said something, and then she was like, all right, we're going to leave. So she stood up like she's going to leave. Dude woke up literally and chose violence.
Wow.
Dude literally popped up, was like, you talking shit to my wife, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, he's finna leave. When that motherfucker took a step up, when I tell you I was on the side of the bar in the lab by the wall, nigga, they showed me the video. They showed me this surveillance video. I just came around like, pew! And went right in between him and Mark. Now, dude didn't see me at the time because he's so drunk and just focused on Mark. He tried to swing. I hooked this nigga in with a submission hold with one arm, and I'm about to take him out. So I'm about to put this dude over my shoulder. Fireman's carry. The door guy is trying to pull him down like he think he's jumping, and I'm like, let him go. So when I put him down, dude look at me and goes, you know, I respect you. Nah, bro, let's get your ass up out of here.
All right.
So then I'm taking them out. Then the other managers, they like, yo, what do you want us to do? I was like, just move the fucking chairs out the way. I got this. They was like, what? I was like, move the goddamn chairs. I got them. Because they don't know, they didn't realize I used to be a bouncer at a nightclub. So shit like that I'm used to.
Right.
But like, you know, sometimes you gotta let niggas know.
I mean, it's just, man, it's not like we all said, it ain't worth it no more.
Nah,
and
not
my
at
thing
all.
is, you know, I mean, you have to defend yourself when you have to, but this not a game about that, man. If you got issues with a dude, you know, like women are big on that. Women, the female comics, they just, you know, that bitch. I mean, you know, I'm like, they don't have any decorum about how they do their shit. You know what I mean? But
I don't speak on women comic beefs. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah, I speak on that shit. I ain't scared. But,
I'm not gonna do that shit. Nope.
You know, but I'm just saying. So, but dudes be having it. But the dudes, the male comedians, they go in, and it's out of jealousy mostly.
Yeah,
it's like, yo, dog, you make. As long as I can pay the rent, got the ride working, I'm good. I'm in the game. I got a shot. You know what I mean? But the problem is, then people want to know when you do hit it and you don't fuck with them, you change. Nah, nigga, I ain't changed. Nigga, you never, you know.
What I've seen, man. Anyway. What I've seen, typically, it ain't the person that's making it change. It's the people around him is changing.
Oh yeah,
because they starting to look at you. They looking at you like, I wonder if he's changed, and then they start talking to weird around you and start acting differently around you. It's like, I'm the same dude. Because I even caught myself like that. Like, I remember the first time I ran into Tiffany Haddish after she popped.
That's funny you should say that.
Same
thing happened. Yeah,
I'm talking to her because I'm thinking in my head, I wonder if she's changed, and she talking to me like I'm same Tiffany. Yeah. And then that's when I was like, oh, she ain't changed. I'm the one, if anything, is acting different. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, this still Tiffany. She ain't changed at all. Let me give her that same energy that I used to give her, and not be on some. Oh, I wonder how she thinking and how she feeling. Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
You caught yourself like projecting.
Yeah, I did.
I think what happens is that you want to give that person a little more respect because you don't, you know what I mean? Like you just can't come up and you know, hey bitch, what's going on? You know what I mean? It's not like it used to be. You know what I'm saying? It's like you know, I mean, wait a minute, hey bitch. Well, you know, because when you do shows with comedy, you know, I may come up to yo man, what's going on? But then you see, it's like with Kev, like even with Kev Hart, you know. And I knew Kevin, but I didn't know him that well. You know what I mean? So then when I went to holler at him, it was like, and the thing is, if you're not in that camp, you got to remember, people are protective of themselves, especially in today's time, because everybody's trying to find a way to scam off you, get a case off you, get a viral video off you. Yep. You know what I mean? So I understand it. You know what I mean? And sometimes they have to change. Right. You have to be a little more defensive, you know?
Yeah. Nah. Hey, man. This has been an amazing episode. What y'all got coming out?
Man, bro, thank you. I didn't know it was going to go this way. I thought it was going to go to Chris first. I wasn't prepared. I'm sorry. I wasn't prepared at all for this shit.
I wanted you to be first, Jay.
I wasn't prepared at all. For me, man, it's just, the podcast shit, the Mad Titan podcast, where I talk about Marvel and DC TV shows and movies. And then I got the Black Boy Content Club podcast, myself, Moses Prim, Chris Burns. We talk a whole bunch of shit, all those. I got a lot of shit I just shot, a lot of TV shit coming up, a lot of audition for a lot of big shit. Currently, you can catch American Jiggle on Showtime. If you ain't seen that, I'm through the season in that. Just a bunch of shit, man. Just Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. If you want to say Mr. J Washington, MRJAY, you should know how to spell Washington. You really the fuck should.
Mr. J Washington, Dannon, what you got?
First of all, thanks for having me, man. It's good to be on the show with you, Chris, and this motherfucker over here. Something, she knows I ain't want to drop no names.
Nigga, you see comments right now.
Jay, my guy.
That's my man.
But right now, what I have going on is with my boxing documentary, we're trying to find a home for that, the Executioners. And we got a new version of it, so we're trying to find a home for that. And then I have my movie, my screenplay that we're pushing right now. So my big thing right now is seeing if we can get the money. We got the producer, director attached, so we're trying to get the money for the movie. Still doing stand-up around, was just got off for 2 hours and on tour in Korea and Japan for 20 days, and just doing comedy around town now, but really focusing on getting this movie made. Yeah, I think it's a hit. It's a movie that everybody can relate to, and it's going to be they feel that it can win an Oscar. So that's where we
nice.
Yeah, that's where we at,
and that's what it's gonna do.
That's what it's gonna do.
Dominant.
Claim it.
Yeah, man. Chris Gardner. Check out my album and special Chris Gardner shit on YouTube. I got my name in it, so it should be pretty easy to remember. Other than that, man, just performed around town. I got some real cool shows coming up. I'm about to be producing, man. Some real cool, different kind of stuff I'm gonna be doing. But I want to get moving on them things before I start talking about them too much, And Chris the Gardner on everything.
Chris the Gardner. Hey, man, it's your man Justin Hires, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, and if you've been offended by anything that we said today, just remember one thing: fuck your feelings.
Down, I get it. Hate that I keep winning. Stab my back, it's tempting.